Hi, my name is Brock, and I recently developed a really cool technique I'd like to show you in Photoshop. But first, I'd like to show you these three images of videos that inspired me and gave me some really good information that I put together after thinking quite a while on it about how I could speed up a painting process to be faster than grayscale, but also allow me to paint in color and values at the same time. So I'll walk you through this process. First, we're going to start with a selection and add a gradient into it. Next, we're going to add our gradient map. It's found underneath this icon. It is the second from the bottom, the end of the list. The gradient map allows us to instruct the computer which values of the grayscale are assigned specific colors. We want to change this to the black and white solid. By left-clicking, we can add colors to the gradient map. I'm going to start with a very dark blue. And using web-safe colors simply make it easier to see the different values and colors that we can select. As I drag this to the right, you'll see it change the gradient that we created on the left. This will give you an idea of how it will affect the tonal values. Next, I'll create the second color. I'm going to go from cool to warm, darker value to lighter value. Ultimately, you're able to select any color that you want in any order that you want. I'm being quite selective about the order that I'm choosing these colors in. I've already tested this 5 or 6 times just to see if I could further develop this technique. Here, by adjusting these sliders, you can increase the coverage area of each color as it's interpreted through the gradient map. I'm going to create a new layer. Fill in this layer. Get my pen brush tool. Make sure that I have opacity pressure turned on. As I press down on the pen, first a gentle pressure to a much firmer pressure, you'll see it change. But it's not changing now because we still have the dark value selected. I have to change this to a much lighter value. There we go. So simply by adjusting the pin's pressure, we're able to create all these colors that are mapped by the gradient map through the values of opacity. And those values are created from the dark background to the light color selected by the brush color. So here, started marking down the different percentages of the opacity using the bracket keys. But as you notice, if you leave the opacity pressure turned on, you'll be using a very slight percentage of the set percentage of the opacity. So a gentle pressure will be using a fraction of that 10%. So now I've turned pressure opacity off. I'm using the direct opacity. And here you can see how each of these percentages equals to a specific color. In my settings, I've set all my layers to be on transparency. So if you go into erase, you'll erase through the layers that you need. So it's best to actually just paint in a bunch of dark paint. And make sure you select your color value for your brush going forward. Excuse me. Now I'll turn on a drawing that I've imported, simply to have some line work to show you this coloring technique. So normally to change your colors, you'd have to adjust your HSB slider bars, or you would have to choose different swatches as you go along, or you could color pick from a predefined palette. But this technique allows you to use the pressure sensitivity translated into values, which is then modified by the gradient map to actually allow you to color based on your pen pressure, which I found to be a very fast technique. I haven't seen anyone on YouTube or in any books mention this before or try this out. So as far as I know, I'm the first one to be able to put these different ideas and techniques together, which I'm really happy to share with everyone, and I would really like to see your feedback and thought process of using this technique, and please try it out for yourselves. But basically, I've been searching for something that will allow me to paint in color and value at the same time. And this is the most pleased I've been with using digital coloring. So please just enjoy the rest of this video and process.